Micdup.
Okay, that was kind of good.
Well, that's us in a nutshell.
I'll make sure I tell the performer.
Yes, some sort of music was played in the background. Hey, everybody! Thanks for joining us on Highlights from Lowlifes. We have a special episode. It's like an after-school special. This
Do I have to sing?
Our good friend Phil Haywood, the director of facility operations with the Greenville Drive, has agreed to join us tonight for an interview. What a terrible mistake that he has made. Tonight
you could be in the Florida League before this is over.
Yeah. No. So Phil is out in South Carolina, and let's see, we got Marty tonight in Reno, and Robbie and I are here on the West Coast, and we are going to talk some Greenville Drive baseball and get to know Phil. For those of you who are watching the show live, there's a microphone at the bottom of the screen. Just tap on that, and you'll have a 30-second countdown to leave Phil a question or a comment. And if we like it, we'll play it live on the air. You get to hear your own voice, and Phil will respond if it's appropriate. So let's dive right in.
But first, let us welcome all our new listeners and viewers from Reno, who's joined us since we were at the Aces game last weekend. So we signed up a bunch of
viewers are here.
Both of them promised to be listening.
Excellent.
Welcome. We want to get that in before the 5 minutes and they drop out. So
hey, Marty.
Yeah.
The biggest little podcast on micdup.
So Robbie, you're a little bit too close to that microphone again. We only got part of that.
Okay, so let me repeat. Would it be safe to say that we are now the biggest little podcast on micdup?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
All right, let's dive right in. Okay. Phil, thank you for joining us again.
Welcome.
Happy to be here.
And I think I know you pretty well from your days as a youth in San Jose. But Robbie and Marty may not know your career path. Take us through your hockey playing days at Kent State and until your current job. What have you been doing since your hockey playing days until now?
So I started, I want to say my sophomore year of college, working for the A's at the Coliseum. So it's got a soft spot in my heart for sure. Kind of foot in the door. Wasn't sure what exactly I wanted to do in sports. I thought either try and make the transition into hockey or more of the sports operations side of things. And I really enjoyed what I was doing with the people that were kind of mentoring me in Oakland and had a knack for that kind of eye of a stadium side and the operations and how everything kind of works together. And I like being involved in everything. From there, had some people that I really trusted and everything kind of start to leave and go off of bigger, better things in football and back into college sports. So I followed one of my buddies across the bay, worked for the Giants on the grounds crew there. Kind of at that point was just saying yes to any opportunity to learn a new part of an organization and see what stuck and see where I kind of clicked. From there, I was there a couple of years through COVID, and coming out of that, ended up going up to Tacoma, Washington to work in AAA. So got my first director position up there, spent a year up there, really enjoyed a lot of things. Ended up leaving after my first season as we headed into the off season there. Ended up back in the A's organization, but in Mesa, Arizona at the spring training complex for a little over a year. Kind of started talking to Greenville as I figured out I wanted to get back onto the operations side, and really felt like this was a good location with some family in Charleston, which I kind of was lacking up in the Washington area. So it made sense. It was a good leap of faith here, and I'm really glad I did it. Thoroughly enjoyed my first season. Playoffs came down to the last day of the season. Here we missed out by about a game and a half, just based on us having a doubleheader and Spartanburg right up the road, winning their game. So it was a lot of fun, and a truly great experience heading into the first off season to get going with bigger and better things and seeing how much we can grow this place. It's already first class through and through, and I inherited a really good operation here. So can't complain. I get to be an asset here, and really use my mind to try and continue to grow and make everything more striding towards perfection every single day.
Cool. Very cool.
Now, before you got involved with the A's and everything, I know you from your dad's stories of your hockey days.
Mm-hmm.
You want to give us a little background on that? Because I kind of actually found that fascinating. We followed your dad and all the updates during that time you were actively playing.
Yeah, don't really know how I got into it. I think I was born around the same time the Sharks started, so hockey was always kind of my first love. Played baseball through high school. When it kind of came time to choose one or the other, more local opportunity for baseball, but I kind of wanted to go out and experience a good college, and just be away from home and kind of get that experience. So after high school, I ended up living in Toronto for a year, and then Philadelphia for 2 years before landing at Kent State in Ohio. Was there my entire college career, played there, and once senior year kind of came around, my body started to shut down, my hips and everything like that. So at that point, I had already had a couple seasons under my belt with Oakland, and had my foot in the door, and I knew I wanted to be in sports. So it was a pretty easy transition, and I miss it, but kind of got to a point at the same time being in baseball for so long that start to watch the game a little bit different, and made the decision that I probably would never make that jump over to hockey, just because I want to be able to have something as an outlet when that season's going on, to just turn on any game and just enjoy watching the sport.
Yeah,
Cool.
great.
Yeah.
Marty, you got something?
Yeah. Well, because I been to the ballpark. Let's put it that way.
He doesn't remember much of it.
Well, no, it was a bad timing. It was I have family in North Carolina, and I took a drive down to Greenville because I was friends with Mr. Wallach, who runs the Shoeless Joe Jackson museum, and of course this was right at COVID, so everything was shut down. They just moved the house to that lot across the street. Had my chance to stick my nose into the stadium, but of course everything was shut down. And but boy, what a beautiful ballpark! There is a couple pictures of me at the Joe Jackson statue there on. I think that's the entrance on Main Street, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Yeah, beautiful facility. I was taking a look at some pictures. Are there? It looks like you have a combination of Fenway Park with the little green monster, and then Camden Yards with the big building behind left field and center field. Mm-hmm. Are those really apartments out there in center field? Because it looks like there's little balconies out there.
They are indeed. I can confirm one of those is mine. Rob has seen.
No kidding. Yeah, is it really?
Yeah,
yes, it is.
I can see the entire concourse from my couch.
Do you ever look in there? You're sitting on your couch. It's a day off for you, and you look in the stadium, and you're like, "God damn it, Doug is doing it backwards," and want to run across the street.
No. There's no micromanaging. I take a lot of pride in being there as much as possible. So My days off are really more of the half days here and there, unless a group of us go golfing or tubing or something like that. We'll take more of the majority, but I try and do something at least for a couple hours every day just to kind of show my face, make sure that everything's going well. And then just on the other side of that, the break above the monster. Our front office is that second floor, so we have a catwalk from the back of the monster that gets over there.
Oh, okay. Neat.
Yeah, it's really tough to remember to turn my car on and make sure it doesn't die because I just kind of walk everywhere around here.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so Phil, I know that you are a big time sports fan, and you're of course big into hockey, football, basketball, and baseball. Now that you've worked in baseball, have you gotten jaded as a fan? Do you know too much about the inner workings of the game to the point where you can't enjoy what's going on the field?
I would say that I probably don't watch nearly as much on TV. I'll still follow the Giants or see that. With the time change, it doesn't help either. But just in general, I think baseball is still one of the best sports to work in just because there's so many game days, and that's kind of what a lot of us sign up for is a lack thereof of a 9 to 5. Um, every day is going to be different because you never know who's going to come to the park or anything like that. So I don't think I've lost any love for it. I think I appreciate it differently, and especially being at all different levels in the last 8 years, 10 years. Whether that be Major League, AAA, down here, even seeing the complex and how guys are learning how to be pros or taking some pride in some of our players this year that made the jump. Peyton Tolley was here about a month and a half before his first start at Fenway against Skeens. So that was really fun to kind of see that just because he's a wonderful guy and just as good of a ball player. But you want to see somebody that has both really succeed when they get that opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the responsibilities of a director of facility operations?
At this level, it's just like many other titles. We're all wearing numerous hats. So I think the way that I learned it in Oakland, the operations side is pretty strictly the security aspect, a little bit of the guest experience and fan interaction side with ushers, but it's more or less just what's going on in the park people wise. In Tacoma, that was my first really opportunity to see at the minor league level. It's both that plus actually keeping something running. Whereas I learned a lot of more handiness there and hands-on stuff where I could apply it here. So I have the game day staff side being the security and ushers, and then all of the routine maintenance and projects that we have going on. We have our hand in with those contractors or anything that I basically take a couple looks at, try and come up with a plan. If I don't think I can fix it to where it's more than a band-aid, we want it done right. We get somebody out here to make sure that by the next day gates open, we're ready to rock and roll with a full stadium that's working properly.
Yeah, because I just retired and I just got done with my first season with the Reno Aces, AAA affiliate for the Diamondbacks, as a usher and security, and it really once you get the hang of what you're supposed to do, I had a great time. A lot of great people and fun. To pretty much, you guys pay me to watch baseball, so how can that go wrong?
Yeah, 100%. That super similar to most of the usher staff that I have. Truly wonderful people, always available. It's just a good group of people that take pride in showing up to the ball game, and yeah, they get the enjoyment of watching. But they also have been here a lot longer than I have for the most part as a whole. That group. So it was a lot of me leaning on those people that understand the direction that I'm kind of trying to take everything with applying my spin on it without changing, the ground level that's gotten them through the last 20 years. We just celebrated our 20th anniversary. So just having those people to lean on and trust and put on a good face of the franchise for us is what it's all about.
Yeah. Cool.
So how many? I noticed because we go to the Stockton Ports and they're a single A team as well for the athletics. And you can see kind of in the stadium the people are there because they love the team, they love being part of the ballpark and everything. But there always seems to be a small group of people that look like they're striving for more. And I mean, it's kind of fascinating to me because we watch the games and the single A players are looking to move up and that the umpires are there and they're all, I mean, they're like the players, they're wanting to move up too. How many people do you deal with on a daily basis that are also like, I got to get to Worcester, I got to get to Double A?
Personally, not a whole lot. I kind of get the rumblings of who's doing what, more so than anything, or if we have Red Sox um, organizational members in town for XYZ games or what's going on to make sure that they're checking up on the developmental side of everything. More than me dealing with them personally, it's just making sure that they're taken care of once they're here. They're kind of going through our GM and our clubhouse manager. So, yeah, one of the last to know, but at the same time, happy to help and make sure that they have a good trip. I know that our owner, Craig Brown, is a wonderful man, and he's done so much in the community here over the last 20 years that he takes a lot of pride that kind of bleeds through our front office, making sure that no matter where these guys go, whether it be, just to Double A and then they fizzle out or whatnot, that Greenville is one of their favorite stops along the way, no matter what.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Philip, wanted to let everybody know, I went out and visited you and just had a great time. I had no idea that a single A organization could be as well presented to the community. I was just really impressed because your first thought is that a single A team doesn't have the finances of a double A team or triple A team and a major league team. Can you tell us give us a comparison to what you had in Tacoma to what you have in Greenville? Is it fewer bodies, less money, or is it about the same?
I think it's a little bit comparable, just in the fact that Tacoma is one of, if not the smallest AAA ballpark in the United States. So size wise, they're a smidge bigger in capacity. But when you kind of go at that, that means that our numbers are going to be very similar based on the total revenue. I would say with our great sales team, most of the time, all of our suites are sold out. There's numerous picnics throughout all sorts of weeks that we have homestands. So I think it's a really tip of the cap to them to make sure that whether it be a Friday, Saturday night with fireworks or just the weekend and everybody enjoying a good time, or a Tuesday or a Wednesday at the beginning of summer when school's still technically in session, making sure that we're still hovering at that high number of people actually in the stadium versus just tickets sold. I think it's fun to see when that atmosphere is there every single night. It's not just those 3 days a week on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday when nobody's working, or there's a lot more promos and things going on post game or out on the district that you saw when you were here, with like a block party or anything like that. So I think that we really take a lot of pride in leading our league. Pretty much year after year in attendance, and that's due to those Tuesday, Wednesday nights where it's drizzling, but we still have a lot of people actually showing up. So
Yeah. Hey, thanks. That's great.
Yeah. And to kind of piggyback on that, what do you find unique about Greenville? Is it the people? Is it the stadium itself? what do you really enjoy about it? What are kind of the challenges of it?
Not a whole lot of challenges, honestly. It was a seamless move. It was the first time that I shipped everything, so I didn't have, mom or dad kind of driving cross country or helping unload everything upstairs and things like that. So I know both of them helped tremendously when they did come out for their first visit and kind of putting the house together and making sure that everything that I needed that needed a second set of hands got done. But no, I think it was a really seamless transition on my end to settle in and hit the ground running. The city's wonderful. I'm right downtown. Obviously, like I said, I'm attached to the stadium, so I walk a lot of places. There's some really good restaurants. I think it's a good mix of people that are both kind of that old Greenville that were born and raised in the area, but then it's definitely a hub with BMW and all the other plants in the area that bring a lot of people to this area, and they get to fall in love with it just the way that I am, along with a lot of the restaurants that kind of start in Charleston. Uh, Seems to me that a lot of the next step for them when they want to expand is going to be Greenville, just because it's a foodie town and there's just good food everywhere, and making sure that if they can succeed in Charleston and here, that there's some serious growth opportunities.
Yeah. Now, all of a sudden you mentioned the BMW plant, which I learned that's the reason that it's the drive, correct?
I've heard a few different segues.
Cool.
There's also Michelin is around here with the tires as well, but I think the focal point that we try and pride ourselves on is the drive that we kind of go through the community. We want to be somebody as an organization that is always giving back. We do a lot of internal events throughout the season, whether it be like networking for young professionals that are in a niche category of trying to get more teachers or more doctors or those kinds of things. And then we also do a downtown game that's our only midweek day game. Every business downtown gets a bunch of tickets, trying to get everybody
Oh, very cool.
to kind of network with each other, but then also it helps go a long way for younger people to kind of meet these employers that are also around town. And I think that's kind of what we lean towards more. I think both are super applicable, but I think that we want to drive the community, and I think that's where it kind of started a little bit more so than the actual car side of it.
Okay. Well, then I also heard, doing some digging when the team came, because the organization itself moved around and landed in Greenville in 2005. The nickname was going to also kind of be the Joes for Shoeless Joe Jackson, but MLB didn't like that since he was blackballed. But I'm not sure if that's true or not. But I thought it was an interesting ad.
Yeah, I think that was around the time that they were the Greenville Braves down the street. I don't believe that stadium's still up. I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah, and just my own personal research when looking into this organization and trying to learn as much as possible to help the interview process and kind of understand where they're coming from, but also just see that history and how much they've really meant to this community. It's just what drew me here. So yeah, I did see some of that. I never really circled back to ask how close that was to kind of coming to fruition, but there's just a lot of cool things that we incorporate here with, like you said, the monster mini version. It's only a couple feet shorter. Then you have the brick, that good feel, and then across the street, I know I think 2020 they just moved the house. You said so. There's all apartments on that side as well, and a brand new street that we kind of are trying to get control of. We do get permits every homestand to close that street and kind of take over
cool.
for block parties on Saturdays or extracurricular things to open gates early or anything like that. So it's a wonderful kind of tribute. Those apartments are called 408 Jackson. Has to do with his batting average, and then that street is technically Field Street, but it's also District 356. Another batting average of his, one was playoffs, one was career, and that kind of stuff. As far as like a good tie-in to us having the statue on the other side of the stadium and his house in that corner.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, like I said, it was bad timing. It was during COVID, but I had a blast in that neighborhood. It was a lot of fun just to hunt around and see what it was all about. So it was really cool. Thanks.
Hey, we've got a caller.
You want to give Phil a break here and talk about our sponsor?
I want him to answer, because this was actually going to be my next question, when really well worded by this caller, Greg.
Hey, this is Greg. I'm a recent transplant to Greenville, having lived in the Bay Area for about 40 years. Watched the San Jose Giants and the Stockton Ports. Great experience at the ballpark in Greenville. Staff is very friendly. Things seem to run smoothly. But listening to you talk about the facets of what goes on, it seems like a really tough job. What are your expectations regarding improving on a great experience?
I mean, yeah, it sounds like Greenville's already had a great experience, and then now you're in here. Here, hey, we've raised the bar. Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's some new rivalries in town that go a long way. Spartanburg having their first season. It's a brand new ballpark.
I hate those guys.
Wait a minute. How can you not love the Spartan burgers? I mean, come on, it just makes me hungry thinking about them.
We went up there and we went up there a couple of times and got to see a little bit of what they got going on over there. And so obviously we're rooted here very much so with the 20 years going on and how much we've done. But it's nice to be able to have somebody right down the road when we go play them to pop up possibly and look at what they got going on, because I know that we have some exciting renovations going to happen this off season. And then on the fan side and the experience side, I think what I try and instill into everybody that works on the game day side and just how I act with any fan interaction as well is it shouldn't really matter if it's your first time at the ballpark or your 100th. Like it should be a very memorable night to an extent, as far as everything should go smooth. You should know what you're going to get, but at the same time, we should still be able to surprise you, whether that be an over the top kind of interaction or just what you haven't had happen before. Putting new things out there every single day and just making sure that everybody enjoys coming to the ballpark every single night.
Great. Well said.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, let's talk beer.
Ooh.
Oh, my favorite segment of the show.
I know.
It's a segment we like to call What You Drinking. And since episode 1, we have been sponsored by our good friends at Almanac Brewing in Alameda, California. Almanac is truly one of America's great craft brewers. We are honored and baffled at the same time as to why they would sponsor us, but they continue to do so. And so we like to take a moment and talk about them, talk about their beers. They make really rich, full, flavorful beers, even from their lightest pilsners all the way up to the deepest barrel-aged stouts and things that they make. Every beer has a tremendous amount of flavor. And I went back tonight. I went back to the True Lager. Really refreshing, easy to drink, but again, lots of flavor just pouring across the palate. I really like this beer. What are you guys drinking?
I dug deep, and sure enough, I had found one of the last One Love Grill West Coast IPA.
Guys will, yes. 8 trill.
I knew it. I didn't. I thought I gotcha.
It's a font problem. So One Love 8 trill, right?
One Love 8 trill. Look closely, fam. One Love 8 trill. All right.
It's One Love Grill.
West Coast IPA. And I tell you guys all the time, I hate IPAs. But I Almanac is maybe changed my tune. It's the flavor is there, the hops are there, but it's not like you're chewing this thing to get past the hops. It's quite refreshing, and it's a little toasty out here in Reno today. And this is going down great. So once again, Almanac hits it out of the ballpark. Got the baseball reference on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Right.
Wow,
Okay.
You are just part of Hollywood now. I'm sadly out of sours. But don't cry for me.
I'll bring some.
Don't cry for me. I have the Almanac Future is Fluid West Coast IPA tonight. Really enjoying this. As the can says, dank, lush, and bold. I'm not sure dank is a positive thing, but I'm going to say it is for this beer. Excellent IPA here. So,
and we got a what you drinking call.
Oh, of course we do.
Of course we do.
Hey, gents, JC here. I'm going to be out on the ball field with a bunch of 12 and 13-year-olds on Wednesday, so I can't join you. But
so if I pause it right there, it makes him seem real.
Yeah, it's not good, JC. Maybe too much information. Just tell us what you're drinking.
Let me see if he'll recover.
I will say, what you drinking? That is an Almanac Ballers Love Hazy IPA, designed for the Oakland Ballers independent team of the Pioneer League. Cheers, boys.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, JC.
Well, this has been What You Drinking. Philip's just staring at us, wondering what the hell how come he doesn't have an almanac. But
Cool night.
Phil, I put your almanac in the mail. I'm not sure when it'll get there. It'll probably be warm by the time it gets there, but I want you to enjoy it when you get there.
I appreciate it.
Anyway, thank you as always to Almanac. They really are one of America's greatest craft brewers. Make sure you stop by the brewery. If you're in California visiting, you live here, whatever, get out to Alameda and visit the brewery. It's a great place. Video games, fun for kids, fun for dogs, great food, great location. Stop by and visit them. They really are one of the best you're ever going to find. And if you visit, make sure you tell them you heard about them from the Highlights from Lowlifes show, and they may take pity upon you.
Cool. All right. Let's dive back in because we're using up Phil's precious time. You know, he's a busy man, and this is an important part of his schedule. So let's get this. Get this show wrapped up.
The season's over there in Greenville.
Correct.
So what's on the schedule for the next couple of months there? Are we kind of reassessing what went well, what went right, setting plans for next year? What?
Yeah, so some fun renovations going to start here hopefully pretty soon. Just kind of dotting the I's, crossing the T's there for some fun things that we'll hopefully have rolled out before opening day next year. I'd say the first couple of weeks of the off season is gather your thoughts, start to walk around the place, what went well, what we need to improve on, or what we possibly fix throughout the season that got through the season, but we still know that somebody walking by won't necessarily notice, but the little things that we notice and want to make sure that everything's perfect. Take that time, do our walkthroughs, get a plan together, all while we have a wonderful events team that we've already had, I think, 6 or 7 events in stadium. Some kickball. Bush's Baked Beans was out there. They had like a company outing. They were out here in Greenville, I believe, for a week, and one of their evenings was spent at the ballpark for team building and a lot of fun things going on. We did the 9/11 stair climb. We had a Heroes softball game with Greenville Police and Greenville Fire. Just like I said, as much as we put on, we take a lot of pride in the events just as much as we do a regular ball game, because with that, they're not here for a ball game in the event. They're here for the event. So we need to make sure that, everything's dialed in and working correctly. And we're all kind of hitting our stride there to make sure that they enjoy what they're paying for and making sure that they want to come back year in and year out to get bigger and better. We had a couple festivals over last weekend that went really, really well. So a lot of good things. Like I said, Greenville being a foodie town, this week we have Euphoria in town, and that is, to my knowledge, just based on everybody that's been here for years and years, seeing this festival and this big event go on. A lot of famous chefs come in from all over, and they kind of have their own area of the stadium, whether it be a concession or on field or throughout, to give samples and tastings of different types of things. And it's just something that goes on Friday, Saturday, Sunday that we're looking forward to of giving back and making sure that it goes really well. So looking out the window when I got home today, they were still finishing up putting some flooring down. The field's going to be in use all weekend, and then that'll all come out. We have a bunch of events the rest of the month, and we have some holiday parties and a Veterans Day concert. So there's always something to prepare for while we're sliding our own improvements in as well. So I think we're getting to that point where the walkthroughs are done, and we're going to start piecing together a plan of when to slide these projects in as we're still having the events and not, imposing on them to making it where, oh, well, your event's here, but we're under construction in this part, or that's not hasn't been painted yet, or whatnot. So just making sure that we're able to sneakily continue to improve.
Yeah. Now, on your Facebook page, you got a bunch of pictures. I know this is great. The community involvement all over it. And I thought that was terrific. All sorts of things. But I also noticed some college baseball pictures. Clemson, Furman. Is that a regular thing that the college teams come through Greenville?
Yes. So there's a couple different layers to that. Every other year we host the rivalry game between Clemson and South Carolina.
Oh, wow.
That's usually going to be our first time opening gates after a long off season. So hit the ground running with that. It's always going to be kind of that standing room only. Really busy. Just good crowd. Everybody tended to be well behaved this year. I can't really speak for years prior, but yeah, we have that as our big one. But our owner Craig Brown is a Michigan State alum, and every year he brings them down.
Oh, far out.
To host them for kind of a not a spring training because their season has started, but get them out of the elements, and they play a handful of games here. So I think this year they played Harvard down here, and then trying to think who else they played. And then they played somebody else as a visitor, but they were staying downtown Greenville for I think about 2 weeks. So it's over their spring break and kind of get into that, get out of the weather, come enjoy some nicer sunshine and a good ball field here. And then we do have quite a few other amateur games, whether that be Furman or the smaller colleges around here, plus the high schools. And then we host the SoCon tournament for the NCAA.
Wow.
Terrific. Wow. Yeah.
How big is that? How big is that metro area where Greenville is?
Oof. I'm not gonna lie. I have not ventured out of downtown very many times. I live in my little bubble here, and that's about all I can give you, other than some golf courses.
Greenville is a huge and growing community. There's as many as 2 million people in Greenville proper.
Wow.
Wow.
And I never knew that until I went to visit. Hey, Phil, I got an idea for you. You're gonna hate it, but I'm gonna bring it up anyway. So now is the time of year that I get all these emails from professional baseball organizations telling me that while the baseball season is over, the fun at the ballpark continues with Top Golf. What do you think about setting up a Top Golf event at the stadium?
We did it in San Francisco when I was there. I had a blast. We pieced together a golf cart with some drags, and that was our ball picker. So it was pretty fun. We had some good times there for sure. I can't speak on behalf of the president or VP of operations, who's also our head groundskeeper right now, Greg Burgess. He takes a lot of pride in the field, and I know that there's been guys in years prior that would have a little patch of sod and throw it down at the plate and start using their wedge and just put divots in the outfield. So the Top Golf's going to go over all that well.
Well, wait a minute. I was kind of thinking on the right field line there is kind of an open area where you have picnic tables and umbrellas. You can clear that out and then have them shoot straight across and with a little target on your window and say,
my window.
Hit the manager's window, win a prize. Yeah, there you go. Something like that. Give the people something to aim for.
Hey, this actually brings up we got a call, and I think it ties right into what we're talking about here.
Hey Phil, Teddy Bear here. Hey, what was the weirdest or strangest thing you've seen go on in the stands or on the field during a baseball game that you've witnessed? Thanks. Have a good show, fellas.
All right. I can't wait to hear the answer to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that one when I hopped on, and I've kind of been thinking about it. I don't have I have a lot of stories, but I mean, there's everywhere I've kind of worked has traditional fans, right? So the drums in Oakland were always very special. The bleacher creatures and everything going on there, and then the I think general baseball knowledge that Giants fans have was always kind of fun to know that yeah, they're there to watch the ball game, but they're understanding the sport. Tacoma, we had a really special build of that stadium where it was built in 100 days. We had seats from Seal Stadium brought up. We had when I left there, the light towers there were from Seal Stadium, so a lot of history there. I'd say the weirdest thing, I don't know. It's always unfortunate on my end. We had a guy sliding across the tarp one of our rain delays this year. Not ideal. Um, it's just some characters and how they react to certain foul balls or getting treated or anything like that. Just trying to put out those fires, but nothing too crazy stands out in one particular incident. Um, I think I've been lucky, I would say. I'm sure that there's a lot of people in my position elsewhere that have some better stories. Unfortunately, I'm not bringing a whole lot to the table here, but yeah, I just there's weird days in general because I think the way that I look at it is it doesn't matter if there's 6,000, 7,000 people in the stadium or 800. If those 800 are the ones that came to have a good time and toss a few back, it's going to be a much busier night on my end than family day with 7,000.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, we're going to give you more time to think about that and tell us a better story on a future show.
Well, because he just brought something up from my experience in Reno, the family days, and then they have a family day. Usually it was Sunday, and oh my God, the crap that the family would. That's not the folding chairs. It's the cart. The kids are riding in a cart. I mean, one of those kids. And then they need to have a tent. And then they need to have the snack. I mean, and and as a security guy, you just want to make sure Dad didn't bring in his bottle of Jack Daniels in the middle of it. And you're going through friggin' I mean, and it's amazing where I found Jack Daniels bottles. Let's put it that way. But it's that family day. It's just a tough day because all the paraphernalia that comes with it.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right. Hey, Robbie, you got another one there?
Yeah, JC's got 2 questions, so I'm going to pause it and we'll answer the first one, and then we'll go back and play the second half.
Okay.
JC with a couple of questions for Philip. Hey, Phil, what's your favorite activity or promotion or between innings stunt that you guys pull there with the Greenville Drive?
I think I have a couple. There's a lot of fun things that we do. Game wise, just the entertainment value I think is really high here in between innings throughout. It's not something that is the same every single game. Which I think you can kind of fall into that routine. There's just so many things and theme nights that we have going on. But I think even for as many people told me that I'd probably get sick and tired of hearing Sweet Caroline when that comes out. There's some good things going on, and it's good vibes, and the people really get into it here. So I've never been to Fenway personally, so I can only imagine how much bigger it is there. But I know that it's very cool here and enjoyable every single night. I think that actually could circle back I have a good one from this year. That was probably one of the odd ones because typically when we play that, we have a light show that goes with it during the inning break, and we on the production side from everyone that was involved in what I heard, we play it until the batter steps into the box and everything's going. And we had one umpire or a crew that wasn't having any of it and said, cut the music. We're ready to play ball. He's in there, whatever. And they forgot to turn the light show off, and so they were on. And then the music cut, and pitchers come and set, and the lights do one more bop bop bop. And so it was just an inadvertent kind of comeback to the umpire who wasn't having any of it after 10 other homestands throughout the year. It was pretty late in the year, so this wasn't opening day or anything like that, to where it was an odd one of the reaction on their end, but the lights just doing that right after he said that was pretty funny. But yeah, no, I really like that. And then I know a lot of us throughout the front office enjoy. This was the first year we did a closer entrance, or anytime we had a lead heading into the top of the ninth with a new pitcher, a full light show there with some new camera work and things like that. And think that is entertaining to me because it's something that I know that we're trying to be bigger and better, right? So we don't necessarily show up to work thinking we're high A. We know what level we're at, but obviously we want to compete with all different levels of baseball in production and operation, through and through, in sales and attendance and all of those things. We all take that much pride in what we do.
Perfect. All right, here's the second half of JC's question.
And what's the favorite crowd reaction you've had from fans during a game? Love to hear about it.
So I'm assuming he means of one of the treats you put together for the fans between innings or what have you. Where's the biggest, best reaction you got?
I think it's always fireworks.
Yeah.
Everybody likes things that explode. I know that this was early on. There were, I think, our first 4 homestands, we had some sort of viral moment. In whatever way you want to take it, I took it as no press is bad press, just because things were happening. But we had the Lugo bat flip that went to the moon and back. I don't know if any of you guys saw that. It probably cleared the netting height by about 20 feet. That was a fun game. It was a really good back and forth. We had a multi run comeback, and then back and forth through extras, and then that happened, and it was really fun. I think the next homestand we had, the pyro people were putting everything together, and their wires got crossed, and one of their full zones went off with 2 outs in the ninth. And oddly enough, I think for as much as we all like our closer entrance, if the pitcher would have struck that guy out after that pitch, because a lot of fireworks went, I think the roof would have blown off this place. It was the loudest I had heard it at that point. And then the next homestand we had, I can't remember who it was. He hit a ball through the 8 in the monster. It went right through for a ground rule double. And then he hit a home run in the 8th inning that game. So he called his shot. So it was just fun moments that, like I said, good or bad, we enjoyed what we're doing.
Yeah. Hey, when I was there, you seated us on the top of the green monster in the final inning. We sat down, and 2 minutes later, the guy hit a game-winning home run right over our head off the building behind us.
That was a shot.
Like, wow, we couldn't have scripted this better. All right. Hey, you guys got any other questions?
No, this has been great. This is fascinating to me, to somebody on the inside of the operation and running the show, not really affiliated with what's happening on the field, but that whole experience comes together because of what you do. I find it incredibly fascinating.
Yeah, because they're and they handle so many intangibles that go wrong. The fan experience, the food experience, the security. I mean, it's amazing how many hats you have to wear to have it all come together the way it does, and it's truly phenomenal. It really is. So thank you for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not all me. I will never be one to say that it is. I think we have a really good culture here. And like I said, I inherited a lot of good things. But I know that if I pick up the phone and I need some help on any given day, that doesn't matter what department you're in, we're all on the same team and pulling the rope the right direction to make sure that if it doesn't matter if it's a hospitality group or a child's first game, that they're going to have a great experience because we were all working together on our end.
I feel like we need to do a live highlights
Hey.
from Lowlife show from Greenville.
Greenville. I'm all. Yeah, I'm all for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will. We'll plan that trip. I'll work with Phil. We'll get it all set up for next year, and we're all staying at his apartment, so it should be great.
Yes. I'll take the
All right,
patio.
hey,
Can I have the patio?
Thanks, Phil.
I'll take the
We'll have you on again. Thanks, Marty, Rob. Hey, let's play us out.
All right. Hopefully you can hear it.
Barely.
Marty can hear it fine.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Phil.
Thanks, Phil. Take care, Phil.